Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a great day and welcome to our first Gov Take 5, where it gives you a chance to take a break and really get the benefits of some timely insights from our colleagues and friends across KPMG. So today I'm joined by my colleague Julio Hernandez, who's our global lead for the Customer Center of Excellence at KPMG based out of Atlanta. So welcome, Julio, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Omar. Happy to be here. Look forward to our conversation.
Very good. Well, and I can't wait to get into it. And just for those that I haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Omar Raza. I'm a sector executive with our Global Center of Excellence for Cities and Local Government at KPMG. And what we're talking about is just that. It's about our cities, it's about our communities, and the people that live within it. And one of the big changes that we've seen over the last 18, 24 months is an evolving relationship between our municipal governments and their constituents. And Julio, I'm really keen to hear from you on what you think cities and municipal governments can do to respond to these evolving needs of our citizens and their customers.
Yes, Omar, it's a great question. So first and foremost, I think we're living in very interesting times, but very opportune times as well. And why I say that is today we have the ability to listen to people in ways that maybe weren't possible in the past, at a scale, at a reach that's incredible. We can get the voice of the citizen, we can get the voice of the stakeholders in our communities by listening to them. We can listen to them lots of different ways. And I think it's really critical as we think about the services and the experiences that we want to deliver as a municipality and prioritizing them by listening to these stakeholders and really understanding what's important. And so I think we're in a really good spot today to be able to do that. So when I think about providing the right services, just starting with a sound foundation of knowledge is a really good start.
And something you mentioned there is that sound foundation of knowledge, just on your final comment. And this conversation also connects into some of the work that we're doing as KPMG around the future of cities, which included some research from Forrester Consulting, which was commissioned by KPMG. And what it did was it revealed a significant difference between the perception of government services and the actual customer experience. So we know government bodies tend to sometimes overestimate some of their abilities in the quality of the product, but less more so on the experience of their citizens or the experience of the customer. Julio, what would be your advice on how governments could work and what activities or initiatives they should deploy in filling this gap? And what is the role of technology?
So great question, Omar. First and foremost, I think it's great that we're having this conversation about experience. And I also think it's great to know that there are folks that recognize there's a disconnect between the experiences being delivered and the one that's being architected. But the good news is there are people who are thinking about delivering a great customer experience, the appropriate experience, and then designing the right experience for the citizens. Where the breakdown sometimes happens is through the execution, just based on the fact that you need to train people, that you need to have the right technologies, but also because you're comparing those experiences to what other companies and other entities around the country, around the world are providing to citizens as customers. And so at the end of the day, those expectations are changing, and what good looks like isn't necessarily being set by government. So there's an opportunity to really be prescriptive and intentional in the experience that you want to deliver, but the same intentionality needs to take place in the execution. So technology can help you by using workflow. You can use technology by harnessing analytics. You can use technology to have better scripts. You can use technology to have different channels, digital channels, to be able to engage the citizens. So it's that orchestration layer that technology can really help in. And then you can monitor your progress from a voice of the customer, a voice of the citizen, to really understand how you're executing. The last point I'd like to share is that really delivering great customer experiences, great citizens experiences, you cannot discount the power of the employee who's delivering those experiences. So think about that as well. Are you setting them up to be able to do their job correctly? We've all been to the DMV where we wanted to get a license and we sat there for a long time because the people that were taking care of us didn't have the right technology. And so you need to think about that as well. Are you enabling them to be successful? We've got lots of experiences we can share through the Center of Excellence and the research that we've done. And Omar, I'm sure that you'll reference that as we go through the conversation.
That's very helpful. And time has both its benefits in giving us a lot of room to move and be flexible within, but also creates one of the greatest challenges that if we miss a signal at a certain point in time, it may put us on a different course or a different path. And it's that second part that I'm kind of keen to get your thoughts on, is some of those signals. Those signals, often when it comes to public sector, we hear the loud ones. So the protests on the streets, the petitions, but there's sometimes a silent majority that's living behind all those words and all those comments that we don't often hear about or hear from. In your experiences, what's the best way to engage all the people?
Yeah, so in government especially, it's a very interesting question, because clearly there's some stimulus that politicians and municipalities get every 2 years, every 4 years, just through the ballot box or some form of the ballot box, right? But if you think about it, what you really want to do is you want to cast a wide net and go to your constituents wherever they are. You want to meet your constituents where they are. So you want to have voice of the customer programs where you can go to some of the facilities where you provide services and ask them, how is the service provided? We all do that in our day jobs. We get surveys all the time, NPS scores, that ask us how the service was. That's number one. Number two, we can spend time just listening to what people are saying about the services that are being provided, not through a survey, but just listening to social media, listening to conversations that are happening, and just really spending time. Number three, talking to the employees of the city, the state who are delivering the services. They are so close to the citizens. They know what's working and what's not working. So there's an opportunity to cast a broader net, as opposed to thinking about people who are in a position to be able to talk loudly to you or have access. So you want to balance that, right? You want to be able to go and get that broad swath of voices and then, basically distill them down into the true essence. But you don't want to turn away from those people who have loud voices. You just want to put that in the right context. If the loud voices basically silence the majority who have a different perspective but aren't being heard, then you're probably going to have some policies that don't make a lot of sense. So it's really about casting the net, really distilling that input to have a much better and much more founded perspective. And that's not anything that's different from corporate America or corporate around the world. It really is. Companies are doing that in commercial entities across the patch. And so there's a lot to be learned that you can actually leverage from others.
Perfect. Thanks, Julio. Well, this was a quick coffee and a lovely chat where you gave us a good few pointers on not only what's working well in corporate and private sector experiences, but how we can translate that into much of the government work and really taking that experience-focused view on how to deliver services. Thank you for joining us for our first of many Gov Take 5 segments, where we hope to spend just a few minutes like today thinking through and unpacking some of the key trends and giving you some of the key insights on how to move forward. If you'd like to continue the discussion or learn more, please feel free to reach out to Julio Hernandez or to myself, Omar Raza, at our City Center of Excellence for both customer and cities, as well as local government. With that, thank you everyone and have a good day.